Hi everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome to another DIY Live here on the Essential Stencil page. I'm Sharon from the blog I Restore Stuff, and if you are catching the replay, don't forget to comment the word replay at any time in the comments, and you could have a chance to win a prize at the end of the 24 hours after the live goes live. So as you start to join in, I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. I feel like I'm at a little bit of a distance here. I'm still at my dining table, and we're going to have some fun doing some Valentine's projects today. So let me know how many people have already got their latest bundle. Hi Wendy, hi Connie and Kimberly. Hi guys, thank you so much for letting me know that you're here. And as I just set up our Facebook page here on my laptop just to see the comments coming through, just thought I'd have show you some of the new stencil sets that are now available. If you didn't get the bundle, they are still available. We have Valentine's theme and St. Patrick's Day themes of stencil packs. So while we're waiting for more people to jump on, I'll just show you some of those packs. I'll do the Valentine's ones last because that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'll show you some St. Paddy's Day, I don't know if you call it that there in Australia, we kind of shorten everything, St. Patrick's Day stencil sets. So we've got the 6-pack, the luckiest, it's called the luckiest, and it has some cute stencil designs in there. We might show you those over the coming weeks, but you can see any of these just via the essentialstencil.com website. And as you're joining on, don't forget, if you do order anything today, use my code I Restore Stuff. Very easy to remember. It's up there. The link is in the description or down. I don't know where you can see your description of our live today, but it's there. And you can use that code I Restore Stuff to get 10% off anything that you order from Essential Stencil. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Cheryl. Hello. Lynn is here. This is a St. Patrick's Day porch leaner. So there is the porch leaner there. It's the length there, but it comes with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little stencils. So it's got Happy St. Patrick's Day is all the words that are on that. And still trying to see the live on my laptop here. Let's have a look. There we are. Oh, there we go. I can see some more comments there. Michelle's here from Michigan. Inez. Cheryl's got my new stencil and you love them. That's awesome. The other St. Patrick's Day set, it's a 2-part set, and it is the beautiful farmhouse trucks filled with little 4-leaf clovers. Are they 4 leaves? Yes, 4-leaf clovers right there. Farmer's market and a fresh picked clovers open daily. And then on the back we've got St. Patrick's Day in that gorgeous vintage type font with the little clovers there. So those are the St. Paddy's Day ones, and now I'll show you some of. Hello, hi everybody, thank you so much for letting me know where you're tuning in from. Don't forget to join in the conversation in the comments, because that's where we pick our prizes from, and at the end of the live today we're going to give away prizes to 3 lucky winners. So here are some of our stencil sets. Now we've got this 3-pack, which is the really large X and O, so we've got kisses and hugs there. That's what they look like, and it's a 3-pack, so the third one is a whole bunch of little ones. So that is a great background for signs. We could use that. We may even use that with something I do today. But there's that. There's also our 6-pack of Bushel and a Peck. It's called Bushel and a Peck 6-pack. And I'll show you those individually as we join. Hi, thank you so much, Inez, for sprinkling. Thank you. If you want to hit that share button, you can share it with someone you know who loves DIY, loves crafty projects. So we've got the I Love You More, and then we've got, let me see if I can get this to where I can share it with you against the black there. Better Together. Hugs, which is very cute. I Love You, a Bushel and a Peck. This is what I'm going to use today. This is cute. Kissing Booth, 25 cents a smooch. And another farmhouse truck with hearts in the background. So that is cute. All right, and then the last one in the collection that we've got for you. So don't forget, use my code iRestoreStuff. You get 10% off anything in the store that we're looking at today. These are for the little wooden tags, these mini sets, but you can use them on any of your signs. The wooden tags come like this in a set of three wooden tags with the rope to hang them from, or you can choose your own ribbon if you want, but they come with your rope there to hang them. So I'll be doing a tag today. In fact, I've got to paint the back of it. I've painted the front black in sort of like a chalkboardy paint. But let me just show you quickly. These 3 little mini tags. We've got the arrow there. Oh, I got that the right way. The hearts, and then love. So I'll be using some of those today. Let me get started by... Yes, they are very cute sets to get. So that's 10% off using my code iRestoreStuff. I'm moving you down here to where you can see a little easier, and sit down on my chair so I can show you what we're doing. So I just randomly found this piece of wood. It's wood pine, and it was already cut into the shape of a heart. Found it at an op shop, or a thrift store, as you would call it, charity shop, whatever you like to call it. Found it. Now, these are always great finds when you can find things, and I found it at the end of last year sometime, and I thought that is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day. So I'll be using that today. I've painted the back and the sides in white, and then I did this front side in a black chalkboard type paint. And it actually has a flat base on it, so it can stand up on a mantle or somewhere like that. I thought it would make also a great photo booth type of sign that you could hold in a photo booth and flip it around to do either side, you know, depending on what it is that you want to, you know, say in your photos. But we'll be using some of the signs on that. And then I've got this tag that I'll paint the back of, and I want to paint it in this pink colour. This is a Australian chalk paint, but you can use any acrylic-based paint, whether it's a furniture paint or just an acrylic craft paint you can use for painting. So for general painting, I'm just using a Klingon R12 brush. You can use whatever brushes you like. And just thought I'd usually come with my backgrounds already painted, but I thought I'd just do it on our live today so you can have a little clue at some of the painting tips I might like to give. So we need a little bit more, needs to be a little bit heavier. So this is a chalk paint which is quite thick, and I'm painting off the edges there because we don't want to drag from on the edges, because otherwise it'll be dripping down that black side. See how I've already painted the sides black? So because it's a lot thicker than just your mineral paints or your acrylic paints you do for craft, it can lend to some texture and some brush strokes. So you may want to stipple it or just create some texture there. That's just one coat, and it's probably not quite enough, so we might let that one dry, and then I'll do a second coat before we paint that with our tags, mini tags. So you could sort of do like a textured look with some crisscross going on here with the chalk paints, because it's a little bit of a thicker layer. You probably can't even see that that's pink, but you can see the jar here. It's kind of just a nice peony pink. All right, so I'm going to pop my brush, this is my #1 painting tip, in a little plastic bag so that it doesn't dry out while I wait for it to do the second coat. So I'm just going to roll that up in the plastic bag there, leave that, set that aside. While that's drying, I'm just using a cardboard down on my table here today, hoping that I don't splatter too much on my dining table. So here's our heart here. So I think I'm just going to do something fairly simple and easy on this side, and then I want to do something fun on the other side using our stencils that I shared before. So this is the 6-pack, bushel and a peck, and I've got the links for these in the description of the live. Yeah, I found this last year at a thrift store, but you could probably find heart-shaped, you know, any kind of boards, and you can use them double-sided. I suggested that you could use it for a photo booth, for taking photos at parties and maybe on Valentine's Day with your Valentine or something like that. Take a selfie together. Let's just do a really easy one, really simple one for the front. This is a chalky black chalkboard type paint. Just trying to get it in the center there so we can see it. Maybe come in a little bit closer. I'm not sure if I can do that. There we go. And we're just going to use this Kissing Booth one because I think that's cute. It sort of lends itself to a photo booth, doesn't it? Let's try using that pink on this actually. So you can also get your stencil brushes from Essential Stencil using my code iRestoreStuff. You can get any of those. They come in a set of 4. So grab your stencil brushes from there while you're getting your stencil sets, and you can get 10% off those as well. So yeah, you could just cut the bottom off the card. This the heart. So this one has quite a thick base. In fact, I've got my tape measure here. I can let you know how deep that is. It's a couple of inches. No, it's 1 inch. It's 1 inch. Not even 1 inch. Maybe 3/4, 7/8. So it is able to be stood up on a shelf. All right, and if we want to add more, we could always add more to this little sign here, but I'm adding this Kissing Booth, 25 cents a smooch. Isn't that cute? And I think I'm going to use this pink that I just was painting with the chalkboard paint. Just taking a touch of that on the ends of my bristles, wiping off the excess, and then I'm using my brush to offload it onto the cardboard before I hold it down tight. You can use some painter's tape if you wanted to. Try and get centered as much as you can. Oh, hot pink would be really nice on this, wouldn't it? On the black. Hot pink looks really nice on black, doesn't it? Okay, so that's done a little bit. Because it's a chalk paint, it dries very quickly. So I'm going to just dab that in again and offload a bit more paint. You want to offload your brush as much as you can so that the paint doesn't go underneath the stencil and cause bleeding or fuzzy edges, as I've said on other lives. So we're going to do this a nice pink colour. A hot pink would look, it would actually stand out better. I've got lots of excess paint down here on my cardboard, so I'm going to do that. So Essential Stencil has linked the stencils there where you can use my code. That should take you, it should actually automatically take the 10% off if you use my links. So use those links that we've provided right here in the live. And my code, if you forget, is iRestoreStuff. And if you are joining me for the replay of this live, you can also comment the word replay within 24 hours after we go live. But if you do see the little red dot in the corner of your live, that means we are actually live right now. Hi, Mary's here. And hi, Cindy, watching from Illinois. And again, people are asking where I got the heart from. This wooden heart, I just found it at a thrift store. And it was actually plain pine. It wasn't even painted with any signs or anything. So there we go. Isn't that cute? Now, you probably, let's see, you can probably tell it's pink. Maybe if I hold it up close. But see how we've got nice, standing up here on my chair, nice crisp lines because we took the time to dry off the brush on the cardboard. So there's no fuzzy edges there. It hasn't bled underneath. There's just one little chunk right there that I can see. So I just wipe that off now, either with a wet cloth or be careful to do it on something that's, you can just wipe that right away. If you do it, the sooner you do it, the better. So we'll just do a little lesson on cleaning your stencils. If you do leave it longer, some paints, depending on the paint, I know some of the mineral paints that I use are quite adhesive and they take a while to come off. But there we go, nice clean. So that's one side, then we can do another side, but let's go back to just painting our second coat. So I was just using this ordinary paintbrush to paint this a second coat. So I've painted one side of our wooden tag in that chalkboard paint and the other side I've done in a pink chalk paint. So depending on the light, it might look a little bit whiter than actual pink, but it is pink. And we've got some lovely texture on there. See how quick that dries, because that's pretty dry already. Adding that to this side. Now it's going to look nice and textured, not like a nice smooth finish. Just for a bit of a fun provincial kind of a look. You could also use that texture to add some wax or a finish or some kind of glaze to really make that texture stand out. So you can stipple it a little bit like that. Probably can't see that texture in there. Oh, no, a bit hard to see with the lighting on the phone, but it is slightly textured, if you can imagine that. And we'll pop that aside again, and that should be dry enough then. I do have a hairdryer if it doesn't dry all the way, but we can use that in a minute. Now let's go on to the other side, because look how, if you just use very minimal on your brush, then it will dry rather quickly. Hang on, I've got to scroll back on my comments. Oh, I can't scroll back. Who was that? Oh yeah, someone just said something. If their husband paid them 25 cents for every smooch, they'd be rich. It scrolled past too quickly. To keep it from drying out when you want to use the brush again, you keep it damp. Yes, so my brushes, I've popped them into a plastic bag here. If I want to use those again, I can. After I've finished the live, then I'll go and scrub them all off. Or you can just wrap it in a damp cloth. The cloth is just what I used to wipe the stencil off. You could also use that to dry, sorry, what was I going to say? To wrap your brush in to keep it damp. So that's quite dry now. Very cute, very basic sort of design. But on the other side, I've painted this white. So let's go ahead and use the back. And with the back, I was thinking of doing this. So if you missed earlier, let's have a look and recap. We've got that 25-cent kissing booth one. We've got the truck. We've got the I love you, a bushel and a peck, which I think is also very cute. We've got the hugs. Now that's the one I wanted to use here. Then we've got better together, also very cute, and love you more. And I love this little heart design at the end here, and I think I'm going to use that on my wooden tag in a minute to add some kind of decorative edging on that. So see how we can use some of these designs, like just the hearts down the bottom, for other things. So I like to show you those kind of things, how to mix and match your stencil sets, because there's so much you can do with all of your different stencils. So again, the idea of a photo booth, this might be cute too, or a selfie kind of sign. Put the hugs in the middle, and then I'm going to use one of our mini tags that I showed you earlier for a little something special that we can do on the side. So I might do a red for this one, Valentine's. We need a nice dark red, actually. I'm not sure which would be better. We'll use this Fusion's Fort York red, which is a bright, bright red. Sometimes with these bright red colours, they actually have a lot of pigment used in them, and so they can be a little bit transparent and therefore need another coat. But we'll just see how we go with this one. Okay, so dipping it in, wiping off the edge of my brush. And so with this offloading that we call it, I'm working it into the bristles at the edges, but I'm also offloading most of the paint so that it's dry. If you wanted to, we could just tape down a little bit on a couple of these edges to keep it in a, centered and whatever. Here, every now and then I go, oh, have I got that around the right way? Yeah, Debbie said I need to get a set of the Essential Stencil brushes. Yeah, they come in a set of 4, really good for stenciling. And I've offloaded that there, and now I just kind of do this swirly kind of motion to get my heart going. To get my heart going. Sounds like to get my heart rate going. And once you start to see that it's running out, then you can just dip in and get some more paint on your brush, or you could just do a second coat. Now this is getting close to the edges here. I want to make sure that I don't get that on the edge. Let's do a little bit more. Once again, offloading my brush onto the cardboard. They are, Peggy. Peggy said they're a really great investment, these brushes, yeah. And some people have bought 2 sets because, you know, if you're doing a lot of stenciling, if you're all in one day doing a great big sign making session, then you might want several for the different colours that you use, so you don't have to be washing them out, because I find that that's a real key to getting good clean stencil edges on your words and crisp lines, is not to have a wet brush. If you have a wet brush and you dip it in to the paint, it's too runny and you won't get the full coverage, but also it could tend to bleed underneath the stencil. So we're just going to do a pounce or a wiggle or a squish, however you find that you like to do it. Now, is there anyone who's never stenciled before watching live today? I'd love to know that. If you're new to stenciling, let us know in the comments. And maybe you've just bought your stencils for the very first time, you're about to use them and you're looking for some tips and hints. There we go, hugs, isn't that cute? Let us know in the comments if it's your first time stenciling. There we go, hugs, isn't that gorgeous? Now you could use that for other things, not just for Valentine's Day, couldn't you? Hugs. So I'm going to add to that using a completely different stencil set. And so our stencil set this is a new one also, so this is especially made for our wooden mini tags. It's especially made for the wooden tags. It even has the little punched hole section in the top, so you can line that up perfectly with your set. So this one here, it's a set of 3. We've got the gorgeous hearts right there, and we've got the, wrong way around, love here, which I might use that in a minute on our other thing. And then we've got this arrow here. Now, this is what I'm going to do with the arrow, which is where we might have to use our I'll just reuse that tape again. I'm going to make the arrow come out here and come out the end there. Let me just turn this around so I can have a look. I think the arrow needs to come up that way and the end of the arrow down here. So I just have to turn that around to get my head straight so that it looks better to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'd have to make sure, because this arrow, if I put this part of the arrow to the end of the heart, then my arrow will come out off the end of the sign. So I want to make sure it's at a good distance in. And so I can actually just cut that right here and it will fit just perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do is, again, using that red, you could add a little bit of black to this underneath for a shadow if I wanted to start that out, and then have the red as the top. So you could tape this off, which is probably a good idea, just on here, so that we're not going to go over that arrow. And we're going to add the arrow to the heart because we've got room to add more things. Oh, I've got to be careful not to get that edge there, because that's very close to the edge where I can see some of that board. So there we go, we've got the end of the arrow there. Erica says she just used these tags for projects the other night. Very cute, aren't they? Especially these little mini tags. You can use them for all sorts of things. So I'm imagining the arrow coming right through here. Now you could, the arrow could start in here if it wanted to and come out, but let's just say we're going to make it go through at the end, and we can do that right here. I have to just lean over because I want to make it look right. So we're making that arrow there. So I need to tape off the heart so we don't get that. Then I want to tape off this little hole at the end, which is when you're doing the mini tags, that's where that would end up. So we're going to add a little bit more to the brush. And there we go. Really easy. You could add that arrow to just about a whole bunch of things then on your Valentine stenciling projects. So that one is in the mini tag set. That's the one that you would want to get for that. So now we have 2 sides completed on this one. Let me just pop that into, we can pop it into a wet cloth if we wanted to keep it wet so it doesn't dry out. So we've got this side here with our hugs and the arrow coming out either side. So like I said before, this has got a flat base to it. Well, I've got a little bit of paint on my other side here, that's all right. It's got a flat base, so it does stand up, say, on a tiered tray or something like that. This one is just one that I found at a thrift store. And then earlier, if you missed the first part of our live, that's a pink on black. I love that look, so there's an idea for that. Next, I'm going to show you our little tag that I've already painted in the chalk paint right here. And so we could even add to this one if we wanted to, some little hearts around here. If you wanted to add to that, I might add to that in a minute. We'll wait for that to dry slightly on there. Making myself a little bit of a mess here. So yep, we can set those aside and I can clean them off later. I can see the texture, but you may not be able to see that. We've textured that with some chalk paint to give it a nice textured finish. And on the back, it's like a black chalky, so actually a mineral paint, but it looks quite matte. So you could use chalk on it. Now, which order was I going to do these? I think I was going to put the love on here, and then I was going to use, so in our 6-pack of Valentine stencils over here, don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff if you are ordering from Essential Stencil, and you can get 10% off anything. Now, if you wanted to join the Stencil of the Month Club, I believe they are just shipping very soon their next stencil for, what are we up to, February, and you can join that and get 50% off the first month using my code IRestoreStuff also. So, and that's at stencilofthemonthclub.com. So what I want to do is I'm going to add this love here, but I also want to add some hearts onto the side. So what I'm going to do, and I do love the idea of that pink again, let's make that pink go on the black, and then we'll do something different. We'll do a pink and red on the back. Okay, so I've got that pink, we've got our pink chalk paint here. These make great, the tags, I don't know, I want to hear some of your ideas for, someone's asking how do you order. If you want to order from the stencil, the links are right there in the description, the pinned posts, also the description of the live at essentialstencil.com. Place your order and use the code IRestoreStuff and get 10% off your whole entire order. Yes, someone else said, can't wait to see the February Stencil of the Month Club set. Me too. So I'm going to tape off this hole again, just so that I don't get my brush on there. I'm putting this right over as close as I can to the edge. I don't want my L to be too close. What I was wanting to know is, what do you guys think these tags are good for hanging, like on decor? I've seen them used for tiered trays, also even just for hanging on gifts. Also they come with the little rope to tie them, to put a tie on to hang them. You could hang them on doors, door handles. They would look great. Even hanging on a vase. I've made them before on one of my lives earlier with Essential Stencil. Oh, this is looking a little bit not too solid, this colour, so I may have to get some more on, or just do some more coats. It's chalk paint, so it's quite thick. I don't know if any of you are furniture painters, but chalk paint's been really popular over the last few years for painting furniture. That's what I do. If you follow my blog, IRestoreStuff.com, you'll find me over there with all of my furniture painting makeovers. You can read through my blog and see some of my makeovers there. Okay, so this could be a little textured look, but let's see how we go. Yep, that's not too bad. I like that, that's cute. And it is pink. It may look a little bit white or light in the colour, but it is a very gorgeous pink against the black. So here we go with this one here from the 6-pack set, which is also in the description of the live. or pinned right there with the comments. I'm going to do this one here. So the large heart. So see, there's two different angles you've got here. The large heart over here with tapered smaller hearts, and this bottom one's got a large heart here, tapered off, and sort of a medium heart on the bottom. I'm going to use that bottom one because we've got a tall L here, just design wise. If you've got a tall one here, you want small here, large here, just to kind of even out the design. So I'm going to go with this bottom layer, place that right at the top so that it all fits on. Could even use a little tape just to make sure it's going to stay. I'll see if I can catch some of your comments. Mary Jo's just tuning in late, that's okay. And someone's asking what brand or colour pink is this? Well, this is an Australian brand called Artisan Chalk Paint, Chalk Finish, Natural Paint. So you will only get that in Australia, but there are so many different brands of chalk paint in the USA. It's not funny. There are so many. So you'll be able to find, it's called Peony, the name of the colour. So it's just a pastel kind of a pink. Holding this quite tight because this whole stencil comes right off the edge. Oops, I'll start with the large heart to use up the majority of my paint. I didn't see, was there anyone that was brand new to stenciling? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and hope you get some tips from our ambassador lives that we do. We do lives every day of the week, weekdays, not the weekends. The light pink on black, Laurie, of course, it is beautiful, isn't it? I really love that idea. And someone suggested hot pink would also be a lovely idea. So there we go, we've got one side done of our wooden tag with love. Now that's using two different stencils. We've used this one from the 6-pack and this one from the mini tag 3-pack. So that the mini tags are especially the size of the wood, so that, oh, I'm just feeling to see if that's dry. It's had 2 coats of paint just while I've been doing the live, but it's fairly dry. Chalk paint dries super quick. So we've got those two from 2 different sets, showing you how you can mix and match things. And also, if you missed this earlier, we did that from 2 different sets also. And this on the back. So if you missed any of the beginning, you are welcome to go back when we finish the live. You can watch the replay. And if you comment the word replay, you get a second chance of winning a prize at the end. Okay, so I've got a few things left. I might make this back one nice and easy, and we could even do these hearts. And I was thinking of showing you a shadowing technique again. We could make those hearts really pop. So I was going to use pink and red. So that wouldn't work with the shadowing, will it? Let's see, what about white? I've got white here. So I'll put away our pink now. And you'll see that shadowing technique on a lot of my lives. So we've got, it's sort of a white, it's Victorian Lace, which is a fusion mineral paint again. Again, just a furniture paint, but you can use any acrylic paints you like. I'm going to paint this white in the background so that it'll create a shadow for our red that we're going to put over the top. So here we go again, just offloading the brush as much as I can on there. And the white on the pink's not going to stand out really, you know, it's not going to stand out a lot. It's actually an off-white. It's got some grey undertones, slightly cool grey undertones. But what it's going to do is make a nice base shadow for when we paint the red over the top of it. Whoops, I think I had too much on my brush. If you have too much on your brush, it can bleed under the stencil. So hopefully it hasn't done too bad. Not too bad, and you probably can't even see that, but I'm just going to use my hairdryer to dry that off really quickly. Oops. It's not plugged in, turned on. You can just see the white there on the pink. But when we get the red on, so let me just have a look at the comments. Yeah, everyone loves that shadowing technique. Who's tried it now? Who's been using that in their stenciling ideas. It is a cute stencil, the stacked hearts. Yeah, there's so many uses for those tags. I forgot to be watching to see your ideas for using the tags. Now I can't scroll back. Okay, that's really, it is super quick drying, the furniture paints. Again, I should have probably popped my brush in a wet cloth. So now I'm going to use the red, and because that has pink on it, I just pop the brush in the plastic. I'm going to wipe that off because it might create more of a pink colour than red if I add the white and the red together. See the white, I mean, you know, it'll rub off. So I'll just rub that off quickly. Who is that? Connie says she's been wanting to try the shadowing technique. I hope you'll go for it. Now, a lot of you will remember me saying, practice. Practice on a piece of cardboard. Practice on paper. Do your stenciling shadowing techniques on some card, stock or paper first. There's our one we just did earlier. If you're just joining me, we're doing some fun combinations of the different stencils in the new Valentine's sets. So there's Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day stencils available now in the shop. Use my code IRestoreStuff to get your 10% off anything in the shop at essentialstencil.com. Oh, who was that? So they're going to try using the tags on a wreath. Yes, perfect. I never thought of that. Add them to your wreath, that you can hang them from the wreath or slot them in there in amongst the leaves. That would look so cute. Then you can change up your wreaths for different seasons, can't you? Okay, so here's our hearts. Now these are sort of misshapen hearts. So you can see some are slightly facing this way, this one's facing that way. So I've got to make sure that I've lined them up correctly and I haven't flipped my stencil over, because then they're not going to line up with the colour. So this is the way that I had them. I put it exactly there where the white is, and then I shift it slightly to create a shadow look. So we'll get our red paint again, offload with the brush, and get ready. So I'm going to shift it slightly up, slightly across to create shadows on the underside of the hearts. And I'm just pouncing it a little bit because I've got a little bit too much on my brush. And see how super quick this is to create signs. They make great gifts. A lot of people in our Stencil of the Month club actually create signs for a living, and they sell them in their neighbourhood or on Marketplace, or even in their antique booths, or they have shops where they sell them. So lots of fun and good ideas to make gifts. Leslie, you are so welcome. Thanks for explaining so well. She says, hope to order soon. And love the red with the light pink. Yes, the red with the light pink is going to be great. So let's see if we can see that shadow. Probably didn't work out as well as I thought it might, as in standing out very much. If I had to have maybe a black shadow, it might have. I'll try and bring that closer so you can see. Ever so slightly on that bottom edge, we can see the white shadowing, but probably, I'm not sure if that's actually going to show you properly on the screen. Maybe if I take some pictures later, I'll pop them up on my IRestoreStuff page to show you. But isn't that cute? Nice, cute heart. The red on the pink works out lovely. Now the other side was this one where we've got the love with the hearts coming from two different stencil sets. So the main ones that I used today for our stencils were, just a recap, and they're both pinned, is the bushel and a peck. I love you, a bushel and a peck was one of the stencil signs in there. And the other one is the 3-pack for the mini tag sets, okay? And we've also used the wooden tags. So let me just show you how to tie that string. And don't go anywhere because Essential Stencil will be calling out prize winners really soon. So here's the ropes. And here's how I do the rope, okay? So you might do it your way, you can do it however you like, but here's how I tie these. I'll hold it like this. So I put the two ends together and just form a knot in the end like that. So there's my knot. And so then I put my loop through the hole in the mini tag. And then I grab that knot and I poke it through the loop. And then I've got my string to hang it like so. So there you go. You can choose whether you want this to be the front or the back. So you could do it the other way if you wanted to. But there it is, how to hang those tags. And you can choose your own ribbon, of course. You can create a beautiful Valentine's red ribbon or something like that. So that's the wooden tag mini sets. And of course, this fun idea. Now, if you did find a heart that was, or cut one out of wood that's this thick, I said it was like almost an inch. It's probably about 3/4 to 7/8 of an inch. You can use a saw or something to cut that bottom off and make a flat base so that will actually stand up on a table like so. Let me see if I can shift that so you can slightly see that, so I can see you. All right, our winners are announced. And don't forget that if you are watching the replay, if you watch the replay in the next 24 hours, there's another chance of winning a prize. So our winners are today, Erica, congratulations, Gina, congratulations, and Kathleen, congratulations to all those wonderful winners. And I have enjoyed, as I always do, doing these lives for you, and I'm so glad to be back here in another year, 2022. And I look forward to seeing you next week on a live, or please follow me I'm Sharon, and I'm from the blog I Restore Stuff. So you can follow me at irestorestuff.com. My link to my page is in the description of this live right here. I Restore Stuff, anywhere on social media. So follow me in all the places that you like to hang out, because I'm probably hanging out there too. I will see you next week. Until then, goodbye.